Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Spesh, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War releases tomorrow. So I figured I would give us some last minute predictions for Cold War. What do I think is going to happen? How do I think the flow of the game is going to go? How do I think the lifespan is going to go? I'm going to take a look at all that and more in this video, so stick around. If you've been playing Call of Duty for a long time, you know there are some very specific things that Cold War has to do to be successful. We cannot have another game like Call of Duty Ghosts. Oh my god. Even Modern Warfare 3, not that great. We cannot have another Advanced Warfare. We cannot have another Infinite Warfare. And I think there's a couple reasons why Cold War is going to deliver. First and foremost, the game this year is being produced by Treyarch. I have a lot more faith in Treyarch than I do in someone like Sledgehammer, or at this point even Infinity Ward. While Modern Warfare was great, yeah. But with that being said, there's a couple facets I want to look at as to what is going to make Cold War successful and why I think or do not think that they'll do a great job. First up, the multiplayer. Now, in Call of Duty, there are a few aspects that are a must in multiplayer. And first and foremost, fast-paced gameplay. Now, everyone loves Call of Duty. Everyone loves Battlefield. Everyone loved Halo, you know what I mean? But one thing that makes Call of Duty stand out above the rest is being able to bang, 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 oops, I died, and then get right back in there, bang, bang, bang. Now, me personally, I'm a domination fan. I like to run around the map, play objectives, and kill people while they're playing objectives. You know what I'm saying? So, Call of Duty needs to make sure that they do not stray too far away from their 3-lane method. Now, I have heard they're talking about doing 5-lane method, and during the beta, I think I want to say Satellite was a 5-lane map. Wasn't a huge fan. There were just too many people in too many places. You think about some of the greatest maps in Call of Duty history. You think about Nuketown, which by the way has been confirmed. Nuketown 84 has been confirmed to be in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, so good thing I made my video when I did, because they announced it the next day. But you think about Nuketown, you think about Rust, you think about Shipment, you think about Summit. Everywhere has that one lane right down the middle, right where B would be in Domination. And then they have the lane off to the right and the lane off to the left. That is such a huge key in Call of Duty. And while I like the idea of 5-lane maps and bigger maps in general, I don't want Call of Duty to stray too far away from their roots, because when they have done that in the past, it's failed them. Now, a couple things we have that are good news. A, Prestige is back, and let's talk a little bit about how Prestige is going to work in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. In a recent blog post by the CallOfDuty.com blog, they have added some things to the Prestige system. You can earn progress towards more Prestige levels than ever before without losing any of the content you've already acquired. So that basically means when you Prestige, you're not going to lose your creative class. That was always the worst part of Prestiging in the old games, was losing that creative class. You have this loadout that you are in love with. You know, you're running around with the Galil, 5 attachments on Summit and Nuketown and Jungle. Life is good. Then you Prestige and you have to go back to using the Stoner with no attachments. Not a big fan. They also say that there's always a new goal to pursue, and your progress towards Prestige keeps growing across seasons. So it sounds like they're going to be doing a seasonal progression for Prestiges, and a little bit more on that in just a second. They say, after completing military ranks at level 55, you'll enter the seasonal leveling progression path, and automatically earn your first Prestige at season level 1, keeping all of the creative class content you've unlocked along the way. During the preseason period between launch and the beginning of season 1, you'll have the opportunity to reach up to 3 Prestiges, as well as a weapon blueprint at season level 50. Prestige 1 at season level 1, Prestige 2 and weapon blueprint at season level 50, and Prestige 3 at season level 100. So it sounds like they are going to break it up into seasons. Obviously, that's kind of the new norm, right? But they're going to allow you to reach 3 Prestiges by the time season 1 comes out. And if I remember right, season 1 comes out, I want to say early December, if I remember correctly. Early December is when we should be expecting season 1. So it gives us about 3 weeks, 1 Prestige a week. For all of you people that are going to go hard in the first couple weeks of the game being out, you are going to be rewarded with 3 Prestiges off the bat. My worry with this system is exactly how it's going to work. So let's say, I mean, this isn't going to happen for me, but let's say little Timmy here goes off in the first 3 weeks of the season, or of the preseason, and little Timmy reaches the 3rd prestige. Is he then capped there, or does he keep gaining stuff, but like, does he keep gaining the experience and the levels, but he can't gain another prestige after that until season 1 starts? Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's something that isn't going to really matter, because then little Timmy will just, let's say he reaches what would be XP enough for prestige 4 before the first season comes out. Let's say maybe all of that just carries over and then he automatically gets it in season 1. They talk a little bit about it in here, but I still want to think that it's kind of unclear. And so I think we'll have to wait until the game comes out to fully be able to comprehend what it is that Call of Duty is talking about. They also say, then, starting with Season 1 in December, your level will reset with each new season, and your progress will resume from the highest prestige you achieved in the previous season. Each season will offer 4 additional prestiges to achieve across the first 200 levels, plus a new weapon blueprint at level 50. New prestige and weapon blueprint at season level 50. New prestige at season level 100, new prestige at season level 150, new prestige at season level 200. This means you can earn up to 3 prestiges before season 1 and up to 4 prestiges each season after that, for a total of 25 plus prestiges across all seasons. You'll always earn progress toward the prestige that comes after your current one, and you'll be able to catch up to the latest prestige if you missed out on playing earlier. So, I kind of like that. Now, if you think back to when Fortnite was around, you had your career level that you were at, you know what I mean? And then you also had your season level. And it sounds like that's kind of the path that Call of Duty is taking here. So your level is going to reset at the beginning of each season, back down to 1. But you will still have your career level. So you could be career level 350, but you will be level 1 at the beginning of the new season, if that makes sense. So basically, you will still be earning that XP and earning your way through the ranks, but each season you are going to have to start at level 1. They also add that there are 6 Prestige Master titles to earn by reaching level 200 in each season, rather than only 1 opportunity throughout the entire game. One thing that I really like, your Prestige level color will change to signify your Prestige Master status, and you'll gain the ability to personalize your Prestige icon with legacy Prestige icons from previous Call of Duty games that you've unlocked. More details on that below. So, we can, with our Prestige points, so when you prestige, remember in the old games you'd get prestige token, and you could use that to unlock one gun or perk or something that you have unlocked for the rest of the time you play the game. That's kind of, they're using the same tactic here. However, you will be able to, now that our created classes will carry over through prestiges, you will now be able to unlock icons to see how your prestige looks. So if you remember way back to the Call of Duty Black Ops 1 game, if you were Prestige Master, you could go in, and if you remember it being Prestige Master, and you're like, man, I want to feel a little nostalgic, don't you? You can use your Prestige points to buy that. And then bada bing, bada boom, it looks like you're back in 2011? When did that game come out? Looks like you're back whenever that was. And you're back on Summit. You're back on Nuketown. Oh my god. Now, not to go too long on the multiplayer aspect here, but there were a few more things I wanted to cover. One, we're going to have Black Ops guns. And for some reason, maybe it's just my own personal bias, I always feel like Black Ops guns play way better than Modern Warfare guns. Again, might be personal bias, but I just personally like them more. You know, we can bring back the Galil, we can bring back the Commando, we can bring back all that good stuff. And of course, you'll still have your typical MP5, your M16, and all that. But Black Ops, for some reason, has always been my favorite multiplayer. I've always had the most fun playing Black Ops, and I've always liked their guns the most. We're also going to have the next-gen graphics. This is going to be the first Call of Duty game on next-gen graphics, so they need to deliver. And I think they will. I think their game is going to, and especially if you look at what they've released so far, they do a really good job with making their maps look very graphically appealing. You know what I mean? And I talked about this before in my first Cold War beta video, is that Modern Warfare, they use a lot of browns and sandy tones, And Black Ops is really good about using the whole color palette and kind of bringing your eye to each different part of the map and being like, wow, they put a lot of detail into this. It's very vibrant and it's very appealing, honestly. And I think with next gen technology, it's only going to keep going up. So I'm really excited to see what they can bring, both in campaign and in multiplayer, everything. I think the next gen graphics are going to be huge for this game. And one last thing that I want to talk about is score streaks carrying over. I'm still not 100% sure if I like it. So what I mean by that is when you die, you don't lose your score streak progression, which is great for the casual player. But for all the hardcore players out there who, like, you know, they're going on 20 kill streaks and whatnot, it kind of, I don't want to say disincentivizes them from really doing well, but I think that it helps the not so good players have a better chance, which is fine, and that's great. And when I played the beta, I didn't really hate it that much, and obviously the more kills you get, the better you do, you're still going to get those score streaks faster. And I'm not a huge fan of the idea that there's a cooldown on them. And that might not be that long of a cooldown, but there is a cooldown. So let's say you go on some crazy kill streak, you use all of your score streaks up, and like you're just popping off, but you still have to wait. Like, say your sentry gun won't be ready for another 30 seconds, and you would have earned it by now otherwise. So I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of that yet. Again, more time will tell by playing the game when it first comes out tomorrow. But I did not have a huge problem with it in the beta, but I do think as more players are playing and better players are going off, I think that it might become a little bit more of an issue. But that's, again, something we'll have to wait and see. Now, we're going to move on to Warzone. Everyone's favorite topic, Warzone. And I think they're going to do a great job. I really do. I really do think, and there's a couple reasons why, but I really do think that Cold War is going to do an incredible job with Warzone. Thankfully, we're still going to be in Verdansk. It sounds like, based on what we've heard and what we've read, it's still going to be the same basic kind of gameplay that we were getting from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is good because it was incredibly successful and still is to this day. The idea that Modern Warfare guns and Cold War guns are going to both be usable in this mode is incredibly interesting to me. I'm not sure if there's a good way to separate it or what, but I'm not sure. And again, I'm not 100% sure you'll be able to, like, let's say, I don't know if I can take my Grau in against this person's Galil or something, you know what I mean? I'm not sure that that's going to be a thing, but if it is, it'll be incredibly interesting to see just how the gameplay alters, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, you go through and you add that many new guns into the mode, it's going to change the course of everything. And it, like, again, kind of going back to graphic-wise, it's going to be interesting to see if Treyarch puts their own kind of ideas and like their own imagination into Verdansk, and if they, because again, with Modern Warfare, their colors are very brown and sandy, and then Treyarch has more vibrant colors, so it's kind of a clash there, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. Are they still going to use the basic Modern Warfare map and just have it all be sandy and brown, or are they going to add some of, like, let's say they add Nuketown 84 into Verdansk, let's say they add Miami into Verdansk, you know what I mean? Those maps would look very out of place, but I still think it would be really, I want to be able to go to Nuketown, you know what I mean? I want to be able to go to Nuketown in Cold War, in Warzone. One thing they need to steer away from is trying to rehash Blackout. Blackout, the idea was good, but the execution was terrible. I hated Blackout. And I'm not sure why I like Warzone so much more than Blackout, but I do. Ultimately, I think they're going to do a great job with it, and I don't think they're going to try and rehash Blackout too much. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure why I liked Warzone so much more than I liked Blackout, but the idea that they're going to be keeping Verdansk the same, and they're going to be having everything kind of the same from Warzone, is reassuring to me, that they're not going to mess it up. Again, I have always liked the multiplayer in Black Ops more, but I think that the Battle Royale for Modern Warfare was loads better. So I hope that they kind of can find a way to, instead of making things like, oh, this is clearly a Treyarch game, oh, this is clearly an Infinity Ward game, they try to find a way to kind of merge that and make it just like, hey, we're all pulling the rope the same direction. You know what I mean? And it kind of sounds like that's what's going to happen, which is a good thing. I also really hope they find a way to bring Zombie Royale back into Warzone like they did for the Halloween event this year in the Haunting of Verdansk. I think that mode was really fun, and I think there's a lot of cool things that they could do with it in Cold War, especially with zombies returning in Cold War. And it also sounds like there's going to be a universal leveling system, finally. So basically that means, hey, you could be playing Warzone, you could be playing multiplayer, or you could be playing zombies. Your levels are all going to go up together, and you're going to be gaining all XP for one specific level, which is a good thing because not everyone wants to play multiplayer to get all those guns that you can get for Warzone. You know, I don't want to play 15 hours of multiplayer just so I can unlock that sniper for Warzone, or I don't want to have to play Warzone all day long just so I can level up my Grau for that mode specifically. You know what I mean? So it's kind of all going to be intertwined together. And I think that'll be a big deal, especially when it comes to zombies players. Now, I'm sure you knew where this was going. Zombies. I love zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops. I was so intertwined in the lore from basically Black Ops 1 through 3. And then Black Ops 4 happened. Black Ops 4 Zombies was an utter disappointment. No one can argue that. Black Ops 4 Zombies sucked. And a lot of that stems from the fact that they were trying to introduce a new story while ending the old one. For those of you who are not quite into zombies lore like I am for Black Ops, they tried to introduce the Chaos storyline while also wrapping up the Ether storyline, and they put way more time and effort into Chaos. I mean, when you go back and look at it, they spent so much money on the animations for Chaos, the game for Chaos in general. And then you go to the Ether storyline, and it's like this story that we've been following for 10 years. Now all of a sudden, every single cutscene is a comic book. Like, we have been putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this community for 10 years, and you're going to make us watch these stupid comic book cutscenes. Really? And then half the maps they did were all just remakes anyway. Alpha Omega, that was just Nuketown Zombies. They redid Call of the Dead. That was what, Tog der Toten or something? They did Blood of the Dead, which was just another of Mob of the Dead. You know what I mean? Like, I almost wish, as much as I hated the ending to Revelations in Black Ops 3, I almost wish they would have let the storyline die there instead of trying to rehash it and not put in their full effort. And don't get me wrong, I liked the Chaos storyline. I did. I thought 9 is one of my favorite zombies maps of all time. I'm a big Ancient Greece fan, so I liked playing on that map as well. But they needed to put more money into the story that everyone already knew, and everyone already knew what to expect and already had expectations for it, and the one they already knew people loved. But they didn't. They need to put that same time and that same money that they put in Black Ops 3, that they put into the Ether storyline in Black Ops 3, into the Dark Ether this go around. And I have hopes because, A, I mean, you have Samantha Maxis coming back in the Dark Ether, and B, it's not a freaking comic book. We're not looking at a stupid comic book animation. I am slightly worried though, because, once again, it looks like we're going back to Nacht der Untoten. With that being said, in Die Maschine, I think that, I mean, obviously it's going to be much more open, and it makes sense to kind of go back to the map that started it all when you're opening a new storyline in the Dark Ether, and, you know, all this stuff that Samantha remembers, but like her new life, kind of none of this happened before. It's very interesting. I'm really excited to see how they go ahead with this story and kind of the lore behind that. But again, we'll have to wait and see, because I'm not going to hold my breath for Treyarch this time. Treyarch had it in the bag in Black Ops 3, and they absolutely fumbled the bag. in Black Ops 4. And the other thing I'm worried about is that Jason Blundell's gone. Obviously, Jason Blundell has been a pillar of the zombies community for the longest time. And, you know, I don't want to get into all the things that led to him being let go or fired or him leaving or whatever the hell happened. But the fact of the matter is, when Jimmy Zielinski was making zombies, it wasn't that great. When Jason Blundell took over, zombies became huge and important and incredible. And then when Jason Blundell was gone, zombies sucked ass last year. So I'm kind of worried about the fact that Jason Blundell will be gone. But Craig Houston's still there, you know, and a lot of the team is still there. So I do have some hope that they can maybe, now that they're writing their own story, instead of wrapping up one that Blundell had already created, they're writing their own story. So maybe they can weave in some of Blundell's ideas, but also kind of create their new story and not base it around chaos. Alright guys, I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to because Black Ops Cold War comes out tomorrow. I'm super stoked. I think it's going to be an incredible game overall. If I had to give my final prediction on the game, I'm going to give it a out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. At least an 8 out of 10. That's like the lowest I'm gonna give it. 8 out of 10. I think it's gonna be great. I had a lot of fun playing the beta. The beta was amazing, and I think that the multiplayer is gonna be really fun. I think that Warzone will continue to be great. A little worried about zombies, but that's just me being cynical because zombies really sucked ass in Black Ops 4. If you guys are excited to play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War tomorrow and for months going forward, please drop a like on this video and please subscribe to the channel. We are doing a charity event where every subscriber we are giving $1 to the Feeding America Foundation, which creates 10 meals per dollar for families across the country in need. I hope this video made your guys' day better, and I know that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is going to make all of our days better, and I will see you soon.